Welcome to the Virtual Cheese Awards 2020, showcasing the best of British cheese. I'm Louisa McCoy and I will be looking after this session today. So through our session, we have been judging 6 of the classes, which have been Wensleydale, Cheshire, Lancashire, Double Gloucester, Red Leicester and the Sweet Additives. I'd now like to introduce the 2 esteemed judges, who are Bruce and Tammy, and just ask them to introduce themselves. So first of all, Bruce, could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hello, I'm Bruce MacDonald. I've been employed in the cheese industry since 1975, purely in cheese grading since 1987. I'm also the founder of the Guild of Cheese Graders, and I'm really thankful that Sarah and Nigel invited me to join part of what is a great enterprise, particularly this year with loss of most of our cheese shows. This is a great enterprise.
And Tammy?
Hi, I'm Tammy Gill. I've been in the British cheese industry for the last 17 years. I started my journey working on a cheese farm on the Isle of Mull with the Reeds, moved on to London and did retailing at La Fromagerie with Patricia Michelson and learned a lot about European cheese over there. And I've spent the last 7 years judging with the Guild and various other international cheese awards. I've also been actively involved with the Royal Highland Show for the last 4 years in the cheese category with them. And I am excited and looking forward to the Virtual Cheese Awards this year. So thank you.
Okay. So we're going to start with Class E, Red Leicester, which has 15 entrants and is sponsored by Hellers. So the judges will be using a point system across 6 different attributes, of which each have a total score of 10 points available. So in total, each entrant is going to be scored out of 60 points. And then the winner of this class will go through to the best of category stage on Saturday. So now let's just sit back and watch the process unfold.
Right.
We're going to start with 315, yes.
Yeah. So traditionally bound cheese. Oops. Why not? This is the full height of the cheese as it's made, as you can see the
Gorgeous.
marks on both sides. So there is, already had a smell of it, clean flavoured. Looking at the surface, it's got quite a lot of little bits of openness, different shapes, and there's quite a lot of that traditional golden fleck, which should be there for Red Leicester. So visually, we're off to a very good start.
Lovely, very nice.
Quite firm.
Quite firm, mature cheese, yeah, very firm, mature. You can see.
One thing about the Red Leicester category, over the years, it's developed. 25 years ago, Red Leicester was really looked upon as a mellow stroke medium cheese. But now you can go from that up to mature, ex-mature, and even vintage Red Leicester. So these 15 cheeses could be a bit of fun.
Lovely. And lovely, nutty, toffee-like flavors coming in, really nice. Pleasant, clean.
Hint of sweetness. Yeah, you're right, there is a touch of nuttiness about it. Yeah, that's a nice cheese. Good traditional appearance to it as well, yeah.
Beautiful, lovely color coming through, very nice.
Yeah, we'll do shall we just mark them as we go?
Yeah, might be quicker.
Yeah. Right, well.
Appearance, aroma, 9.
I think the appearance would be 9, and yeah, possibly slightly more if we need to further down the line.
Yeah.
Because it's such a traditional looking cheese, yeah. The aroma was very, very clean, gentle, again 9. The flavour was gently complex, which might seem an oxymoron, but it's not really. There were savoury notes and a touch of sweetness, that bit of nuttiness as well, but not overly strong.
No.
Didn't blow your
Very
taste.
pleasant.
I'd give it a nice 9.
Yeah.
Texture, for me, it was just ever so slightly on the firm side. I'd give it an 8.5. It was a bit too hard.
I mean, I thought it was a mature cheese, so a little bit dry, but I'm happy with 8.5. We can come back to it if we need to.
And the aftertaste is
Nice.
just like the actual flavour. It just continues on and slowly dissipates and leaves your mouth in very good condition. Yeah, I'd give it the same as I gave flavour, 9. And true to character,
Right?
I'm going to give it about an 8.7. I did knock a little bit off before. But it's a good start to what could prove to be a difficult category. Right, 316. Obviously very similar to 315, exceptionally similar. It's from exactly the same sort of type of cheese, not necessarily the same one, same sort of pressing, moulding, pressing. And a really good look to it, Tanny, doesn't it? It's
Beautiful. Like,
yeah, it's got.
I'm watching it through the sun coming through, and you're getting this beautiful morning dusk orange color on it. Just absolutely gorgeous. And
I think you've got the sun up there in Scotland, and I don't have it down here.
well, we've got things that you don't have, so.
Yeah, we better not say any more about that. Yeah, it's got that lovely golden fleck in there in the appearance. Yeah, it does look really good.
Oh, wow. Completely different flavor. Again, very clean.
Yeah, it's
Very good.
it's almost identical to the other one.
Yeah.
9 for appearance. And if we come to, if it's in the final shootout, then we can always revisit that just to differentiate ever so slightly. 9 for aroma and flavour. Texture, I've got the same as the other one actually. It's a bit on the firm side. And the aftertaste was 9, true character 8.7. It's a good start with that. A couple of nice cheeses. Yeah. 317. Oops. Right. There's not much golden fleck going about on this one. Not in the way there was on the first two.
Yeah.
And you've got to work at it to find it as well. No, it most
Too pasty.
definitely doesn't have the visuals of the previous two cheeses.
Not too pasty on the texture, the palate. Especially after tasting the first two with
It's
nice with crunch and
when I need it down, I want it to go rough around the edges here, and my thumb's tapping. But it's actually a bit too yielding, a little bit too soft. The flavour, some sharpness. But it's just dying quickly.
yeah.
So the appearance, there's no fleck. I'm only going to give it 7.
Yeah.
The aroma, 8. Flavour, 8. A bit flat. Texture, no, 7.
Okay.
And the aftertaste, 7. True to character, probably about 7 as well.
Okay.
Right, that's that one dealt with. Right, 318.
Yeah.
Right, this one does have some openness. Varied. There's a couple of slitty types, a really bendy one, looks like a bit like a dinosaur actually, locus, and some that are just quite small. So there's a good variation to the openness. Nice bit of fat on the iron as well.
Yeah, those.
Because when you tear it apart, it shouldn't be really smooth. It should be rough. And there is the odd little bit of golden fleck in here as well. So it's an improvement on the last one visually, but nowhere near as good as the first two.
Lovely flavor.
It's a wider flavour than the last one, isn't it?
Definitely.
It comes out a lot more. Even a hint,
Sweeter notes.
yeah, a hint of dark chocolate in there as well. Just came in wet. Yeah, touch more complex. Yeah.
Yeah.
So appearance,
Good, yeah.
quite as good as the first two. I give it about an 8.5.
Yeah.
Aroma, yeah, it's lovely and clean. 9.
Yeah.
Flavour, I'm going to give 8.5.
Yeah.
Texture, similarly. Little,
Aftertaste is equally good, no?
I get a little touch of bitterness in the aftertaste, which
8, 7.5.
which I don't find wrong at all, because it can balance out the
The
sweetness.
sweetness, absolutely.
So I'm going to give it 8.5 for aftertaste as well.
Okay.
True to character, I'm going to give it 8.5 for that as well. Yeah.
Okay. Good.
It's a well-made cheese.
Yeah, no good cheese.
Yeah. Bitterness is not something that gets much conversation but it is there in some cheeses, and there are some that has to be there. It's part of the traditional character. Nothing wrong with it. So 319. Have some more water.
There's also a lot of battery.
Now, where I've torn it apart, I can see two different parts of the texture. There's a very, very smooth part, two very smooth parts there and there, which suggests to me that it hasn't knitted together properly in the first instance. Because when you tear it, it should be far rougher break than that, than these parts here. So visually, because the visuals of the interior are just as valid as the visuals of the exterior. Then you would see this on a cheese iron.
Quite pasty also on the palate.
Right?
Quite pasty, as you say, because it's not really come together. It's quite.
It's just that odd little piece where they just haven't knitted together properly. It's not still curdy. It just hasn't initially knitted, so it just detracts from the appearance.
So
It's creamy with a bit of acidity. You can feel it dragging the saliva down, but not a huge lot else going for it.
no,
Fairly average. Sorry, cheesemaker. So appearance, I'm going to go 8.5. Aroma, 8.5, is a bit flat. Flavor, 8. Texture, 8. Aftertaste, 8. Burn, 8. 49. Get rid of that. Keep that for after. Okay, some more water. 320.
You're on to 320 now.
Yep.
yeah,
Just 10 more left this class.
Lovely, even colour. Yeah, it is.
wet, mine is quite wet. Quite pasty texture, isn't it?
Yeah, I've got plenty of visuals going on in here with the way it's split. It's torn apart, which is what it should do. And there's a golden fleck in there. Looking very good, actually. Yeah. There's some sweetness in there. Savoury notes coming through now. It's got a nice sort of modern complexity to it. Just a bit, I'm quite taken on with that. It doesn't quite have the visuals of the first two, but the rest of it's, yeah, pretty good.
I think it's also difficult to compare the first two to this because they're mature. This is younger cheese, so it's more buttery, more creamier, more
Yeah, plus
smooth.
these two are made. That's the height of the cheese. That's it. Whereas this is a different beast altogether.
Yeah.
And I'd give it 9 on appearance. The visuals inside are really, really good.
Yeah.
Flavor,
Good for it.
aroma.
Yeah. No, clean. It's clean. It's nothing untoward fresh. So I'm gonna give 9, 8.5, 9.
Yeah.
Happy with
The flavour,
flavor.
very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, sweetness and complexity. I give it 9 again. Texture, it looked really good.
Yeah.
Give it 9. Aftertaste, well, it's still there.
Clean. Mm.
Very clean, and it just didn't fall off the cliff edge like some of them do. It just kept on going down gently. Yeah, very nice. Give it 9. Yeah, that was good. True to character, I'm going to give it 9. It's really good. Well, we might be seeing that one again later.
Yeah.
Right. Three, two, one. Looks very nice, Tanny, doesn't it?
Looks lovely. Yeah.
Yeah, nice bits of openness. Good even colour. Yeah, even when you cut it with a knife, you can see the different bits of openness in there. If I was using my cheese iron on a traditional or a block cheese, I would take the piece off the end of it, and I wouldn't go smooth. I would just tear it to see what happens, and it's torn in such a way it gives me some of that lovely little golden fleck in there as well. And when you tear it, it's not a uniform colour. It does have these little golden bits in it. It's really nice. It's firm enough. Yeah, it's as
Lovely.
firm as it should be.
Yeah. It's much more firmer than the previous one, which makes it quite
These
dense.
are, got to say, so far it's a really good set of cheeses. Yeah, apart from maybe the one, but they're pretty blooming good.
Good. I like it. I like the texture on it. Firmness. Very good.
It's just the only thing that gets me is the flavour. It's a bit high in the mouth. It's
Quite
the sharpness is out of proportion with everything else. Flavour's letting it down. It's a nice looking cheese.
Yeah.
Physically, it's well made, but it's just the flavour's not balanced. So I give it a good score for appearance. I give it a 9.
Yeah.
8 for aroma.
Yeah.
7. Texture was nice. 9 again for that. And the aftertaste kind of disappeared into nothingness. So true to character, I give 7. So
What was aftertaste was? 8.
I gave it 7 actually because the flavour wasn't that great in the first place. But it's gone. Yeah, it's literally just gone out of my mouth now. So
Good.
that's fine.
322.
Yeah. Just going to have to move some of these. I don't have a huge amount of space here. Right. 322.
This is the 8th one in this class.
It's not bad, 15 in a class. I've seen 40 or 50 cheeses in some classes.
Wow.
Occasionally, even more once or twice. A little bit on the soft side. Well, it opens out really nicely. It should be nice and rough when I do this, and there's not one piece of curd falling from my hands onto the plate. That's a good thing. Like, do it being just a tiny bit firmer. Again, it's kind of out of balance.
Yeah, the flavor is not really doing any
No, the
justice.
flavour's not up there, no.
No.
So it looks nice, but the aroma was a wee bit down, and the flavour, and the aftertaste, I've got some sweetness, but it's just fallen off the cliff. So it looked good, give it a 9, an 8 for aroma, 7.5 for flavour. Texture, 8.5. Aftertaste, 7, because it's just disappearing. True character, no, about 7.5.
Yeah.
Yep. Another one bites the dust. 323.
323, yeah.
Yes, that's correct.
It does look nicely open.
Yeah.
Yeah, a good start. Very
Feels
even colour as well. Yeah, there's no blotchiness.
It's interesting. It's like the previous one.
I'm just thinking that actually. Physically it is, yeah. Yeah, because as I'm kneading it down, there's just nothing falling off it at all, which is really, really good. And it's gone nice and rough around the edges there. It looks very much the part. But there's not much golden fleck and openness inside the cheese. And the flavour's a little bit slow to show itself as well.
Very, very. Yeah.
No. I'm going to give it an 8 for appearance because it's not just at the races. 7.5 for aroma, flavour 7.5, texture 7.5, and the aftertaste.
How much is texture?
Sorry?
Texture, what are you giving for texture, sorry?
I give it texture 7.5 and 7 for aftertaste, because it's just gone.
Yeah, fine.
And 7 for true to character. So
Yeah.
15, 16, 44.5. Yeah, it's quite sad that, but so there it is. Okay, 3, 2, 4.
3 to 4.
A little bit more aroma than the previous cheese. Again, this is like one of the earlier ones where it's not, parts of it are not totally knitted together. You
No.
can see from there to there, but it's torn apart. It looks like a break in a carrot. Now the next part is just completely smooth. So it's a bit uneven in the way it's been, probably from draining through a press, the way it's been handled then. It's an okay cheese. It's nothing.
It's an okay cheese, yeah.
Yeah.
Flavor's also not really coming through. Oh.
It's. I'd give it an 8 for appearance.
Yeah. Very similar to the previous one, 7.5, 7.5.
7.5, yeah. Flavor, I give it 8. It's just a little bit stronger. Texture, no, it's about the same actually. It's got that problem cubs that have not knitted together properly. Aftertaste is 7 and 7.
Okay.
Yep. Only
3 to 5.
Only 5 to
Yep.
go.
Yeah, on 3 to 5.
So, I mean, upon taking it out of the pack, you can see more openness
Yeah.
straight away.
Probably looks mature
also,
to me.
Yeah, this looks a bit more mature. It's a lot like crystals, so it could be getting some
Yeah,
calcium.
crystals coming through. Yeah, I can see them
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, there are quite a lot of crystals in it. Yeah. And they add, to me, they add to the visuals of it. Because it's got the openness, it's got the fleck, and it has crystals as well. Yep.
Texture, age, lots of caramel sweetness.
That's a complex, long-lasting beast, that one. That is, yeah.
I think that sweetness is kind of almost induced with like something like a Helvetic in it or something. It's
That's what it is, yeah.
too sweet.
And it's not a typical red Leicester flavour,
It's not really.
but that is if you go back 20 years ago. It's for stronger ones now. It's typical, yeah. And I think the appearance is really good between the openness, the fleck.
Sure.
There's little bits of calcium in there.
Crystals are lovely.
And bang for your buck on flavour. I think it's quite something, and it's really, really clean as well.
Mm.
Mm. Well, that's changed things a bit. What are you going to give it for appearance then?
9, 8.
I'll give it 9 point something.
Okay.
Yeah. Aroma?
9 again.
Yeah. Flavour?
I found it too sweet. I don't know what you thought of it.
You thought it was too sweet?
Too sweet for my liking, but
Too sweet.
7.58.
Sorry, about what?
7.58. What do you think?
Yeah, it's the sweetness is not typical old-fashioned red Leicester, but it's typical of modern Leicester.
Modern Leicester.
Yeah. So what do we think for flavour?
8.
Yeah, I think it was well rounded, but yeah, texture was really good actually.
Good texture.
Yeah, I'd give it 9 for texture.
Yeah.
The aftertaste, very lingering aftertaste and very clean. It's still there. I'm going to give it 9.
Yeah.
It's really good. True to character. I think the flavour.
9. 8.5.
I think 8.5. Yeah.
8.5.
Yeah.
Good.
Come back to 9. Okay. We may see that one again. I don't know. I'm going to have to get.
There's a few close ones.
Sorry?
There's a few close ones.
Yeah. Good.
Mm.
No, that's a good thing. And they're close for different reasons as well.
Yes, they are.
Yeah. Okay.
3,
2,
2,
6.
6. Yeah?
Yeah, that looks nice as well. Just take it out the pack. Yeah, it's got
Very soft and creamy.
lots of openness and little bits of fleck showing through there. Oh yeah, that's a nice golden piece. Yeah. When you cut it, there's some some really nice openness there as well. Yeah, it looks really, really good. That's because when you use a knife, you can smooth down over the openness, but no, not with this one. It's keeping its openness.
Not very buttery.
Yeah, nice and rough when you break it. The visuals. Yeah. There's just not much flavour there, though, is there?
That's what I like about it. Compared to the previous one, is it almost like earthy, woody, warm flavor rather than that sweetness coming through.
It's more.
Quite gentle, quite easy eating.
The only problem is that I can still feel some curdiness in there.
Yeah.
I noticed it in my mouth, and the texture is not right because of that. It's just another
Maybe a bit
3
young.
weeks of the month.
Yeah,
Another
yeah.
3 weeks of the month, it'd been fine.
You get
But
the
it's just not. It's just
ready.
still got some cuddiness in there, some lumpiness. So it's good. It looks nice.
Yeah, nice appearance. 9, 8.
9. I think the aroma was a little bit on the low side. I'm going to give it 8.
Yeah,
The flavour I thought was too gentle, and this is why.
that's fine.
Texture, I'm only going to give it 6, and that's
Okay.
why the flavour was lower. But it's just too young. And the aftertaste, I'm going to give it 6. True to character, I can only give it about 7 because it's still a bit curvy. So that'd be 17,
Good.
25, 31, 37, 44. Let's pop that one away. Here we are.
3279.
7.
Yeah, a little bit of red wax, the maroon wax. Which I absolutely do not cook. Right, it's been reformed.
Yeah.
So it's not going to have the visuals or the texture.
Also won't have a texture.
No. Maybe there's maybe not at this particular cheese show because it's in its infancy, but maybe there is a rationale at other longer established shows to have class for reformed cheeses without additives.
So
a thought. Anyway,
looks great in its wax. Can't fault it.
well, until you actually see the cheese itself, once it's stripped out,
Yeah.
it doesn't really look like red Leicester. It's got the colour, but it doesn't have any openness. There's no fleck.
Texture is quite pasty. You can feel it probably in your squeeze.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for it that it's in a class for that's comprised otherwise of whole cheeses.
Mm.
Oh, that has got some flavour. Whether you like it or not, so whether you think it's red Leicester or not, it doesn't matter. But it's got a lot of flavour. But
The texture doesn't do any justice to it, does it?
no, and the appearance of the cheese itself, never mind the wax, we can ignore that. The appearance of the cheese is not red Leicester. I'm only going to give it a 6 for appearance.
Okay.
I know the cheesemaker will be deeply upset.
Yeah.
Aroma, yeah, I thought the aroma was very good actually. There's nothing wrong with giving 9 for aroma.
Okay.
The flavour, very complex. It's a big shouty cheese. I'm only going to give it 8 for that actually because it's not red Leicester. Texture, I'm going to give it 4 because it's not got anything about red Leicester texture. Aftertaste, 8 has flavour. True to character, 4 because it's, as I say, if there was a class for reformed cheeses without additives, that's where that would do really well.
Yeah.
So 6. Okay.
12328.
Yeah. Just have some more water. I wish this water was wine. It might be later. Pub's open at 3 o'clock, so.
That's where you're heading.
No, it's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. I'm not going down the pub on a Tuesday. Right. So 328. Yep, very open. This is, yeah.
Mature.
I can hear it. I can hear it. If you can hear the stickiness of it, the moisture in it when you and the curds feel quite hard and round. The texture's not right for what I know as Red Leicester.
His flavors.
No.
Again, it's interesting how age helps it actually taste so much different and better. It's quite interesting.
No, it's not. I don't like to hear Red Leicester like that. It's not that. It shouldn't be that type of cheese. You can feel the moisture in it, feel it and hear it, which is most unusual. It looked good.
Yeah.
Hair dudes, it did. I need to taste a little bit more.
Appearance, what we given 8, 9.
I gave it 9 because it did look the part.
Okay, good. Aroma?
Aroma 8.
Yeah.
Flavor 8.
Yeah.
Texture 7.
Yeah.
Aftertaste 8 because it's very clean naturally. And it's just dissipating gently. True character, I thought 7.5. So 9, 17, 18. Okay. And finally, for Red Leicester, 329. We're well over time, haven't we? But we're honour bound to give it as long as it needs.
That's it.
Sorry?
I say that's it. Taking each cheese and really getting into it.
Yeah,
Which you have to do, isn't it?
You've got to give the next one as long as you gave the first one.
Yeah.
Unless it's an absolute disaster. If it was, it would be dead easy. So this one, it's got some nice openness, like it should have. Little bits of golden fleck in there. Yeah. And I could feel, when I went through it with my knife, I could actually feel it going through some of the openness. That's the only person that gets that experience is the one with the knife or the cheese out. Yeah, you can actually feel it ripple through. A couple of fairly large piece of openness there. I could feel that with the knife. It is a very, it's part of the problem with cheese grading in a way of cheese judging is that it's a very sensory experience. And it's not just about what we presume is touch, as in that. It is about mouthfeel. It is how your cheese iron or your knife reacts to the cheese as you go down through it. That's shaping up nicely, actually.
It's
very rough
interesting.
there.
I think it's slightly overcooked in a sense. I think it's firm, it's rubbery flavor. You get almost a burnt flavor, it's not even caramel.
It's fairly. It looks very nice, but the flavours are almost a bit more sort of one-dimensional, and it's gone now. So yeah, it looked really good. Definitely 9 points for appearance. The aroma was 8. Flavour 7 because of the style. Texture was good. I give it 8.5. Aftertaste 7. True character probably 8. Okay.
Right, so which ones are we calling back now?
Yeah, I think you needed to revisit the first two, didn't you? 315 and 316.
315 and 316.
And 325.
Yeah.
It is. It is 325. 316 and 315. Shall we do 315, 316, 325?
Yep, in that order. That's good.
Yeah, or yeah.
Yep, there. Three one five, very gentle and rounded, isn't it? Creamy, there's a hint of grass in there as well.
Good texture on the bite.
Yes, good visuals.
You're chewing it, you're feeling the bite.
Touch of sweetness at the end as well. You feel it on the lips, yeah. 316.
Gosh, 315, 316, so close. You can barely even.
325 is very high up the nose, the flavour. I'd go 315, 316, 325.
I'm happy with that, yeah.
Good, brilliant. Now we just need to score them.
Second and 3, 2.
So 315, I'm going to go 9.4, 9, 9.4, 8.5, 9, 8.7. What does that do to us? Could I get this right? 9. Right. So 9.4 again, but the aroma. Aroma is still 9 and 9.3 is just that tiny bit in the flavour that takes it down. 9. this one. I'm going to give 325,998,998.5.
Yeah. 3.
Excellent. So just to clarify then, in first place it's 315.
Yeah.
Yep.
Second place is 316. And third place is 325. So 315 is the winner of the best Red Leicester cheese, and that will go through to the best of category class on Saturday for the live judging. And then at the end of that, whichever cheeses win out of the categories will go through to the supreme winners vote on Saturday. Thank you very much for taking part in doing the judging on this class. It's been very insightful to find out more about the Red Leicester cheese. Thank you.